Do we have an American Stasi? It took the Church Committee to get to the bottom of the FBI's COINTELPRO program that ran from 1956 to 1971. Who would have believed the notorious things our intelligence agencies did without that Senate committee report? Today it will take a bipartisan investigatory commission dedicated to restoring the rule of law to stop the kind of abuses revealed at my website, stopgangstalkingpolice.com. These abuses may be part of the President's surveillance program put in place by President Bush and continued by President Obama and other secret programs that may have been put into place. The question that especially needs to be answered is, does the United States now have an American Stasi? The word Stasi is associated with a state secret service that arose in East Germany. At one point, Stasi collaborators were 2.5% of the population, which included 10,000 members below the age of 18. There was one Stasi agent or informant or part-time informant for every 6.5 citizens in East Germany. They were in industrial plants, in apartment buildings, in schools, in universities, and hospitals. The Stasi would even report on their own relatives and friends. Stasi collaborators did what they did because it made them feel important, to get material or social incentives because they liked the adventure of what they were doing, and for a small minority, because of coercion. Their goal was to monitor the political behavior of East German citizens, even if they had to use torture and intimidation to eliminate dissent. We know that George Bush wanted to set up a network of citizen snitches. He wanted to engage citizens from many different walks of life in homeland security. What we don't know is what secret programs he put into place. Did he form an American Stasi? Were its members first responders and Stasi citizen stalkers? Did his secret surveillance program extend into all of our 50 states? Did it even use the very elderly, people who have handicaps, children? Does the American Stasi use red cars, red trucks, have some members wear or carry red in conspicuous surveillance of their targets? Is the tactic being used by the American Stasi organized gang stalking? Do even first responders participate in organized gang stalking of American citizens? Has a program of psychological torture been set up whereby targets are not only subjected to conspicuous surveillance 24/7, but tactics are being used on them that are similar to those reported in the Central Intelligence Agency Inspector General report on counterterrorism, detention, and interrogation activities? Tactics that include social isolation by getting neighbors involved in the organized gang stalking of targets. Tactics that include the use of dogs to intimidate by letting them jump out of car windows, letting dogs off their leashes to run up at targets when they try to walk in the community. Tactics that include noise to disturb sleep, to disturb activities targets try to engage in the community, that include beeping when a target tries to take her dog out or go into her yard or take her garbage out, that include car alarms set off or sirens when she tries to engage in activities in the community. Are Stasi citizen stalkers or first responders using technological means to track targets so that they are there at intersections, at entries and exits of targets from their home, places they go to in the course of the day? Is information about targets being databased in fusion centers spread all over the United States so that wherever the target moves, she is put under conspicuous surveillance? Is the information being databased, being reported by anybody, a neighbor, a first responder, even reported by groups of friends in mobbing who have a personal vendetta against the target? Are targets being deprived of due process, losing their homes as a result of landlords becoming involved in their gang stalking? losing their means of livelihood, as so many members of the community, the new American Stasi, regard them as subversives? Are the lives of innocent people being ruined by having their privacy taken away, being subjected to a program of psychological torture that interferes with almost everything they do every day for years without end? Is the goal of the American Stasi to neutralize targets? Is this a form of social control being orchestrated by our own government? Such a program would violate the following provisions of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Article 1. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act toward one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Article 2. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration, without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth or status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of political, jurisdictional, or international status of the country or territory to which a person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, non-self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. Article 5. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 7. All are equal before the law and are entitled, without discrimination, to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection under any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. Article 10. Everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal in the determination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charges against him. Article 11. Everyone charged with a penal offense has the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty according to the law in a public trial at which he has all the guarantees necessary for his defense. Second part of that. No one shall be held guilty of any penal offense on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offense under national or international law at the time when it was committed, nor shall a heavier penalty be imposed than one that was applicable at the time the penal offense was committed. Article 12. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to the protection of law against such interference or attacks. Article 18. Everyone has the right, just like my screen, our rights are dimming in America. Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right shall include freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom, either alone or in community with others and in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. Article 19. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. Article 20. Everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. No one may be compelled to belong to an association. I, in particular, would like the answers to these questions. For almost 7 years, I have been an organized gang stalking target. Go to my website, stopgangstalkingpolice.com. Go to my website, nostasi.com. There should be no place in America for an American Stasi.